We had a very interesting conversation today in class and on or at both universities. One, this topic was brought up to me by some of my students in my U.S. history class, and then one of my mentors, a professor on campus that actually served on my dissertation committee, had brought about the same issue. And it's very intriguing to me as to how people are seeing this current election being so pivotal in the life of America as we know it. And the exact words that are being put forth is that democracy is at risk. And I am very interested in that perspective, especially coming from a well seasoned historian who is a brilliant man. I asked him, I said, when you get some time, just, let me come by your office and just explain it to me. I don't even want to debate it. How do we arrive at that mindset that these two people that have been chosen by the powers that be to run for president in any way have it in them to have the ability to cripple this nation or culture or history or lineage? This is a country that has been through slavery, Revolutionary War, Civil War, two world wars, Korean War, Vietnam, Pearl Harbor, genocide of Native Americans, taking of Mexican lands, slavery, convict leasing, black codes, Jim Crow, segregation, Brown versus Board of Education resistance, civil rights resistance, war on drugs, 1994 crime bill, mass incarceration, all of these things that have been devastating. Women not having rights until 1920, natives not having citizenship until the 1960s, the Black Panthers, the Nation of Islam, the Garvey movement, the Booker T. Washington and W.B. Du Bois's intellectual movements, the changes in the Supreme Court, all of these things that's happened in this country. A guy who has been president before, that we all lived, and somebody who hasn't been president before but has no endearing qualities as to where anybody is saying this person needs to be president because she will do this. That's fear politics is not new. That's one of the oldest things that we've had. That goes back to the Lincoln Douglas debates of how people were going to lose jobs and black folk were going to take some privilege from some white people. That's the 1850s. How is it we have not learned that one thing America will always be is resilient and self-protective? America will not allow anything to happen that will hurt America. America will hurt everybody else before America hurts America. Don't get caught in the fear mongering that this black lady is going to do anything for black people because I haven't seen her do anything for black folks, or that Donald Trump is the worst white person or the worst white president we could possibly have. Have you ever heard of Andrew Jackson? He's the most racist president. 12 of the first 16 presidents were slave owners. Are we really that caught up in the moment? Nietzsche said that his knowledge of history drains the life out of the present. As a historian, I can't be swept away in this passionate, distractive madness that's supposed to be the future of the country. It's not the future of the country. It's just another move along a long line of things that's going to happen. What's the worst happened under Trump? They stormed the Capitol. Actually, per Declaration of Independence, they had the right to do that. Read it. They had we have a right, dare say a duty, that if our government continues to produce systematic wrongs, that we have the right and duty to correct those wrongs and shake off said government and replace it with a better one. That's what the Declaration of Independence says. But so many of our patriots, they don't read that book. Or the Constitution. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union. I don't care who votes for who. I don't have a dog in the fight. But vote for whoever you're going to vote for if you think your vote counts. And some people's votes actually do count. Vote with information. Understand if voting has historically helped your group. If it has, vote. Voting in a democracy is really simple. It is majority rules. If you're 12% of the population, majority will never rule in your favor. The best you can do is hope what you want aligns with what someone else's wants. See, the problem is here, particularly with black people, we have a very unique history in this country. So thereby we have very specific needs, no different than Native Americans. But Native Americans is less than 1% or 2%. So thereby they have the same problem that we have. And why would Native Americans be voting in a system that killed 80% of their people, 95% of their people within the first 130 years that the Europeans were here? Why would I participate in the system that did that? Black folks, why would black folks participate in a system that they were not included in? It's not designed for us to prosper in that system. We have prospered from revolution. We have prospered from economic segregation. We have prospered from protest. We have prospered from education. That's where our energy should be. But if you want to vote, you're not hurting nothing. Go ahead, vote. Now, other groups, if your numbers dictate that you can get something out of voting, vote. But vote on some type of knowledge that, well, you got to pick somebody. You got to pick the lesser two evils. And that's where A person I respect highly, never met him, Dr. Mark Lamont Hill. I think he's absolutely wrong in picking the lesser of two evils. I actually think that a lot of his negotiation, because generally he's a Green Party member, and now he's saying he's going to vote for Kamala Harris. And I think a lot of people are voting on race and gender. I learned a long time ago, everybody's my color is not my kind. And just because you skin folk don't make you kin folk. I think if you truly feel you have a good candidate, vote. If you don't. Our putting our energy into something that is going to make some type of productivity makes more sense than to participate in something that you know is not going to go well no matter how you do it. Why would you be purposely a part of something that you know is not going to go well? That doesn't make sense. Your time is valuable. It should be respected. Treat it as such. Don't go to the polls if people died for you to vote. No, they didn't. That's not true. They died for you to have the right to participate. And the right to participate is not the same as the obligation or the mandate. That's not the same thing. So as we move toward November, I wish everybody the best. Think, read, think again.